my father when I was 4 years old and had no opportunity of having a formal basic education, having dropped out at primary 3. Today, I am privileged to be here, not because of any academic qualification that I have attended, but because of the experiences, because of the experience and obstacles I have surmounted to get to where I am today. I will advise that you don't emphasize on my thesis, I've said that already, rather focus on the substance of today's topic, which is centered on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, the Coscharis story. Life is a very strict employer. It pays you what you work for. If you are running, you are paying a price. If you are jumping, you are paying a price. But you may be paying greater price by standing still and doing nothing. Anything worth a while has a price. To have anything at all, you must have to pay the price. It is therefore follow that nothing in life is free. To be somebody today, you must be willing to make sacrifice today. Whatever we will be in the future will depend on our previous thought, actions and reactions today. Those who act wisely now have insight in the future and make judicious decisions. Those who make good use of their time, resources, opportunity, and save prudently are better prepared for the needs of tomorrow. While those who think about here and now will have little or no reward tomorrow. It is almost become a norm that youth of these days have little or no time for their studies. Sometimes I try to fool some people and tell them that I'm an illiterate, and some of them believe me. If I had the opportunity to have gone to school, I can tell you without mixing words, I will make a first-class student. That's my belief about myself. But because I will pay the price, I will give it what they require. Youth of today don't want to pay the price. Howbeit, they still want to pass their examination with the highest grade possible. The fact remains that you cannot eat your cake and have it at the same time. Success does not come by hoping or wishing. It is as a result of a strong desire that transforms dreams into concrete actions. This desire is fueled by emotion and passion until it becomes an obsession. It is not ordinary desire that survives disappointment, discouragement, temporary defeat, and circumstances, but a burning desire. McCandy said that one of the 7 deadly sins is wealth without money. He also said that one of the 7 deadly sins is education without character. He also said that one of the 7 deadly sins is religion without sacrifice. He also said that one of the 7 deadly sins is science without humanity. He also said that one of the 7 deadly sins is politics without principle. Everything goes, whatever it takes. I am already there. Don't let any of these sins catch you, because they are very deadly. The good things of life are not free except God's given bread. You have to work hard for them. Life does not give you what you want. You get what you work for. That is, whatever you sow in life is what you will reap. All these people who are looking for .com money, the way they .com, the way they would .com, because it has no foundation. In the economies of life, you get better and higher supply more wealthy, promotion, success, etc. from life if you are ready to pay higher price. In real life, the position you will attain is a function of your ability to make sacrifice required to get that position. Only few people make better and more demand on life when the price to be paid is getting higher. Put it in another way, few people get going when the going gets tough, and that is why we have so many people at the bottom of the ladder and few at the top. No wonder in the biblical expression it refers that we cannot mock God but ourselves by saying, be not deceived, what God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall live. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of his flesh live corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit live everlasting life. Success is shy, is very timid and elusive. It must therefore be wooed and attracted. Success and failure are two sides of the same coin. When success is achieved, the change is usually brought about by well-conceived and careful executed plans. Failure on the other one of us here today, without exception, ability and talent, but they can only be effective if we harness them. Did you believe that? Yes. God said, be fruitful, multiply. Multiply. That's the command. In productivity, you achieve multiplication. You are supposed to multiply, not sexually. That is part of it anyhow. But that's no academic. Because you don't need any PhD to do that kind of multiplication. Any idiot can do that. But in productivity, you express the being of God in you by what you put your hands on and able to achieve. It was Henry Ford that they asked, who is an educated man? And Henry Ford said, a man who can organize his thought into productivity is a man he regards as an educated person. God has given every one of us the ability and the talent, but they can only be effective if we harness them. It is not a luck or a chance that makes the difference, but the extent to which you are able to harness God's gifts. Somewhere in every one of us, there is sleeping the seed of achievement, which if it arounds, put into action, will carry us to will carry us to a height such we may never have imagined to attain. I came from an obscure and poor background, and the death of my father at very early age gave a good and acceptable reason not to have succeeded in life. And I could have blamed God for my fate and feel justified. But as a child, I have learned that events and circumstances in one's life do not determine one's destiny. Rather, it is one's reaction to those events and circumstances that shapes one's destiny in life. No wonder the popular saying that it is your attitude that will determine your attitude. A man is a product, a man is as big as his measure of his thinking. Whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe in it can achieve. If what you are passionate to what they say, if you met a temporal defeat, For they perhaps do not know that every failure in life brings with it the seed of equivalent success. The way life is, in your subconscious mind, in the way life distinction between constructive and destructive thought impulses, it works with the materials we fed through our thought process. The subconscious mind will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage and faith. Instinct, you know what I mean? Many of us wanted to be somebody in life, but rather than focusing our attention, in every one of us, there is what I can describe as atomic energy that is waiting for explosion. If you harness it, people who have understand this, by power of concentration, can break a bottle by just simply looking at it without touching it. If you understand, wake up in the morning and say you want to go and make a coffee. By the time you are getting to the coffee table, you've seen some, maybe a mosquito fly, you turn around. There are so many things competing for your attention. And when you, instead of concentrating for the reason and goal you set for yourself, and you allow yourself to be distracted, some of the young people get up in the morning, open their internet to check one message. As soon as they finish, they say, what's new? They go to what's new. The what's new send you to another thing. You started wandering around in that place. Before you know it, your time for lecture is already gone. Wandering around doing nothing. That's okay. When you do that or play these home movies that they only suck human blood and tell you how to make money without work, and some of you believe that those things are true, they are outdoor story. Some of you don't read the outdoor story in your own generation. But you can ask some people, they tell you Abdul is a one clever man who wanted to deceive other people. And he knew once he tell them one lie and they believe it, he will tell them the second lie. And you know the first thing he did? He made a table, a very well decorated table, and looked at the table and went back and tell the people, because he knew everybody is a sinner, everybody did something wrong. He said there's an angel in that room, and only good men will see the angel. And everybody do not want to accept the reality because everybody wants to believe that they are good. So they've never done anything wrong. So the first person went in there and said, hey, this is a wonderful angel. Oh, yes, beer. The next person looked at it and said, I saw him, he's fear by compression. They are not seeing anything. The man knew he got all of them under their pockets. So everybody now passed around and said he saw angel. The man now said, he put the table, he knew there was no angel there. So he's ready to tell them the next lie. When his house caught a fire, he told them that the ashes of these houses, anybody who uses it to make tea, that is the sweet that will make people healthy in life. And the first person put the ashes and paid money and said, ooh, this is very delicious. Ooh. Everybody started paying money for the ashes of the man's house. Once you believe one lie, another lie can be told to you, and you believe on it. There's no end to it. Oh, you didn't know how far it went until the king went naked. The man looked his hand like this and said, this is a golden cloth. Only a good king will look at him. God said, hey, man, like God, I will wear it. The king going naked, trying to get a golden cloth. So, those home movies do not produce anything. When you sow your mind on it, they get you wandered away from the purpose of your calling, the things you propose to do for yourself. But I said the mind, the subconscious mind, will translate into reality a thought driven by fear just as readily as it will translate into reality a thought driven by courage and faith. Instinct, animals, birds know instinctively how they must behave in order to survive. But human being without pre-recorded computer as a life guide is blessed with creative imagination, which is why you should obey that biblical expression from the book of Proverbs, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. By the same virtue, a German genius, a physicist, Albert Einstein, said, the ability to think like no others and believe in it is a world-moving phenomenon. Therefore, have faith in yourself and God. Let me also say that Napoleon said that imagination will conquer the world. Do you know that? Albert Einstein also said that knowledge is limited to all that is already known, but imagination will embrace everything that is known and will ever be known. Things that are yet to be discovered. God put in every one of us an imagination capability to be creative in our thinking processes. There is nothing truly your mind conceives that you cannot achieve. I will share some testimonies with you that will be, your mind, it will blow your mind when I say some of the things. Therefore, have faith in yourself and God. I don't want to move far. Let me pay tribute to my mother. I have a godly mother. My mother is late now. I lost my father when I was 4. But this, and I say this as a tribute, or I dedicate this statement now to every female here in our midst, because it is the mothers that make the difference in the life of people. I am a product of my mother. When I lost my father at the age of 4, it looked like life is gone for me. My mother will call me and encourage me. My mother didn't believe what I believe today. She was a devoted Catholic. I have respect and regard for her, the way she worshiped God to the best of her knowledge and all the things she knew. She will call us early in the morning and get us to pray that Catholic rosary. God help you that you try to sleep. She will spank you. The sleep will go off your eyes. I almost hate God. I'm being very honest, because I felt, what is all this stress? I don't understand what we are doing. But you see, train up a child the way he will grow. When he grows up, he will not forget it. My mother sowed the seed, the hunger of God in my life. When I was 7 years, not anybody saying anything to me. I've read a book, or somebody had told us a story that Mary visited 3 children at Fatima, and I never believed in public opinion. I want to experience things myself. I went inside the bush. I was praying for Mary to see me, to visit me. I don't hang on anybody's experience. A man that is feeling cold, if you paint the fire on the wall and you go to it and say, let this fire warm you up, he will die frozen. A painted fire cannot warm you up. You need a real fire. So my mother encouraged me and told me that I would go places in life. Just exactly the way we read it in the Bible, Genesis 1:28. He said, and God blessed them. God bless his children. Mother, bless your children. Don't tell your child it will never be better for you. Don't say it. Bless your children. Don't place curse on them. Speak promises into them. The words you are speaking has power. Every word we are saying has creative ability, good or bad. We create by our spoken words. So my mother prepared me, and when I was 5, 7, 6 years, you say it's incredible, it's not true. I started hawking in the street. When I see some children on the road carrying bread selling, I feel identified, because I used to be one of them. My mother discovered my entrepreneurial capability by putting me to test. Circumstances forced me to do that. So, bless your children. Mothers, to your kudos, because you do the great job when you lay the right foundation upon which a child can grow. Therefore, have faith in yourself and God. Faith gives power, life, and action to thoughts. Faith is the standing point of all success. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries, which cannot be explained or analyzed by the rule of science. Faith is the element, when combined with prayer, gives direct communication with God. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibrant of thought created by man into the spiritual equivalent. So the second secret of a successful leadership is that our mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one that is vividly and repeatedly imagined. So imagine yourself as a commander-in-chief, then you are greater than a general. It is therefore not surprising why Napoleon said, imagination ruled the world. By the same virtue, Albert Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited to all we have known. Well, is limited to all we now know and understand, while imagination embraces the entire world and all there ever will be to be known and understood. God did not put the control of anything in your life outside of yourself, because he created you in his own image and in his own likeness, and he put in us what we needed. Therefore, the only thing we need outside of ourselves to succeed in life is God, and a change of thinking process and attitude. Someone had said, I cannot say whether things will get better if we change, but let me say, what I can say is they must change if they are to get better. Not surprising, Barack Obama said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the one we have been waiting for. We are the change we seek. Everybody is in favor of progress. It is a change that we dislike. But in life, I have come to understand that great things are not achieved in the comfort zone. Champions are not made on the fields of play. They are made through accumulative of little but carefully thought out, persistent and consistent effort, practice and training built up over a period of time, the result of which is manifested during competition. This goes to portray the fact that success is not by luck, chance, or an accident. It comes as a result of calculated plan, backed by positive mindset. Something that may sound incredible to you, but as a child, I started riding motorbike at the age of 11. I will climb the bike when hardly my legs can touch the ground and practice different styles of acrobatic display. I use the mechanical device to move. This is done only to imbibe courage as an antidote of fear. I did a lot of strange things to knock fears away from me, from my life, because I knew that the greatest enemy of mankind is fear. So the greatest gift from God is an absence of fear. But let me ask you, is there truly anything like an absence of fear? People who live with fear grow up standing at the end of every line. People who take on challenges and responsibility grow up with values, goals full of courage. People who live with optimism grow up thinking they were born to lead, because a man is a product of his thought. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. One of the weakness of mankind is the average man's mentality of the word impossibility. We know all the rules that will not work. We know all things that cannot be done. We foolishly believe that our own limitations are the proper measure of limitations. We tend to believe that our world or reality is every other person's world or reality. We are masters of our fate, the captains of our soul, because we have the power to control our thoughts. Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are right, because it is your choice. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easy to live in the world they have been given them to exploit the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact. Our Bible did not support it. It said, with God, all things are possible. Take the word impossible, take the I am out of it. What does it mean? Impossible. Because it's a big word that people climb themselves. There are young ladies sitting here. I said this now, you tell me it cannot be done. If I tell you you can jump up by 1 means and be short of this table, you tell me it's not true, it cannot be done. Okay, let's change the atmosphere. The lion drop here to eat you up.